So as far as I can see, we are live. We don't have any viewers as of now. Uh, but is your camera not working or have you turned it off? Okay.
And I think I had some issues with it. Can you
Yeah,
see
yeah,
me now?
yeah. We can. You are also probably uh, visible to the viewers. Okay, so
Hello,
I'm
everyone.
seeing, hi, which camera? I don't know. Whatever camera. So we have four of us so far. And yeah, this is our second Friday night live. We couldn't do a Friday night live because I had a family emergency at the very last moment and I had to kind of quit on it. And Aishwarya was trying to do it, but in the end, I mean, setting up this whole thing in a few hours is very difficult. So we ended up not doing it. But yeah, we are back after 1 week. And today, I mean, to be really honest, we don't have much to talk about, but we have a lot to show and discuss actually. So, what all we are up to and what can be done. I hope the first of all, let's start with the audio, man. Last time audio was horrible. Is the audio good now? If anyone can put it in the chat so that we know that the audio is good enough. 4 viewers. फोर में से एक तो it's myself. One is Aishwarya. So we probably have two viewers. Okay, it's Neeraj and Vishal. Yeah, audio is good today. Great. Uh,
Mhm.
Good to know. I mean, I
Yeah,
can't
we worked
really.
really hard on
Yeah, we did.
Vedant did actually.
No, I mean, it's both of us did it. It's a tremendous amount of work, and today actually we have maxed all of our volumes. So
Mm.
I'm not really. It should be good. Okay, it is good enough. Listening to myself on the stream, I can see your comments. But yeah, let's start with what all we kind of did over the mm, last few days since we streamed last time. So yeah, watch these animals for a little while until I change my screen. Uh, so yeah, I think last time I didn't show this thing, but today I have this video with us. So yeah, we were at Pillai's College, Panvel, and we did a community talk session where the students basically got to know about walkability and what it is. You can see this nice time lapse of that whole event, and kind of gives an idea of what we have been doing.
Oh, Vedant, are you presenting something?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm not able to see it.
no, you won't be able to see it here. You would have to
Okay,
see it
okay.
on the live stream.
Okay, okay. Sorry for
Um,
breaking your flow.
no, it's okay. Uh, but yeah, so basically we were at Pillai's College and community talks is something we do. So you guys know we do kind of community walks. Talks is another thing where we make a presentation, get people to. So here you can see in this on the screen that we are taking a poll from the people, and the question asked is how strongly do you agree or disagree with the statement, and the question that we have asked is do you find my walkability in my locality is good? As you can find, most of these students actually were from Navi Mumbai. So obviously, they were kind of enjoying their experience relatively. Panvel itself was not that great as we saw, and a lot of us know, but it was quite enjoyable. We had some 50 something students, I think, 40 to 50 students, and a whole presentation was made and statistics uh, were made. to the students how it was, how walkability can be improved, and what really makes a street walkable. Uh, so yeah, you can see us displaying all of these things and pausing at each and every part of the video and getting the students to understand what walkability is. So yeah, this is one.
And we got a very good response from the students as well. Like they are they shared their experiences, and every student had a different uh, anecdote to share about their walking experience. It was very interesting to understand what they went through, what they go through on a daily basis while walking.
Yeah, definitely, and it's also it's kind of funny what funny the way students actually uh, talk about things, because I remember asking this question to one of the students ki, do they enjoy their experience while walking, and why do they enjoy it? So one guy just said ki, I don't care, I mean I just walk. It's sometimes we have three or four friends, and we walk together, and it gives you a perspective into psychology ki, I mean anything with friends is more enjoyable than not without friends, obviously. And it's a whole, I mean, when we are talking as walking project at any of these events, it's usually about infrastructure, how enjoyable it is, etc. So I kind of asked the guy a question ki, where do you actually walk? What is this place that you're enjoying while you're walking with your friends? So he was in Vashi, which kind of answered some of the question ki, why he is actually enjoying that walk a lot. Uh, the next thing that we did was this. Again, this was a community meet that we hosted in Ville Parle, and in Ville Parle, it was actually, I was not present because again that family emergency, in which one of my relatives passed away. So it was taken up completely by Rishi and Aishwarya, and I think Aishwarya, you would be the better person to actually talk about this event.
Yeah. So we were invited by Smita Namdar, who's a resident in Veliparle East. So she was kind enough to invite us to their fortnightly e-waste, plastic and glass waste drive that they have in partnership with Project Mumbai. So we had a small table where she hand wrote a cute little uh, like a note which said the walking project, and we got the space to just display our uh, pedestrian manifesto and our flyers and some nice stickers that we recently got made by with Jaidev Tripathi, if you've seen our LinkedIn and Instagram posts. So it was a very nice afternoon. We interacted with a lot of people who came to dispose keep their e-plastic and glass waste, and a lot of them were very in tune with the pedestrian infrastructure problems that we have in MMR, and many enthusiastic people as well. One of them also said joined. Was a very good
A little audio issue on your side, I think, Aishwarya. Uh,
afternoon that we spent, and it Parla East history as well. And it was. Oh, am I audible now?
yeah, yeah, you are much more audible now, and the people have a nice filler
Okay,
video to actually see while they listen to the live stream.
okay.
And
I'm just having some network issues, I think. But yeah, overall, it was a very good meeting with all of the residents in and around Veleparle, and yeah, like we got a very good response, and people were looking forward to actually talking with me and Rishi.
yeah, definitely. I mean, it is always a very enjoyable thing to actually talk to people in person and get to discuss these things. Uh, we
And
like we, yeah. Go ahead.
just one small thing was Smita, who has lived there since I think 90s, she mentioned, if I'm not wrong. So she mentioned that she has seen the road being widened from the original width that it was, where they had places to play or even host some ceremonies in their backyard. But with the road widening that went on, the footpaths got smaller and the setbacks, became more towards the compound, the building. And yeah, so she's seen the transition of the road. So she has a lot of connect with the road itself and all the issues that they face today and how it was before. Very enriching conversation with her.
Yeah, and this is isn't this something that we see everywhere around our locality? Like I bunch of my followers on Twitter know that I live in Dombivli. And I think a couple of about in 2021, 2022, most of our streets in the locality underwent concretization. And while concretization, they also widened a lot of these streets because MMRD has a huge budget for anything road related. They spent some 60 crores, I think 55 to 60 crores on concretizing 8 kilometers of road in our small locality. So they basically did probably 85% of the streets and concretized them. And mind you, my locality is extremely low density as compared to any other place in Mumbai. It's very wide streets. The setbacks are very high. Buildings are mostly 4 story tall, maybe 3 to 4 story. Usually, recent few buildings are a little taller, but still much less tall than uh, any other locality. And also, it's mostly single use. It has very little mixed use zoning, by which I mean that there are very few buildings where you will find residences on the top and commercial retail stores on the bottom. It usually is very kind of singular. It's either residential buildings or there are some market area में completely commercial buildings. And our locality, some of the streets in our locality sees barely like 2 cars or 2 vehicles every minute. So even if like the population doubles, maybe that two increases to probably four. And that means that you really don't need wide roads in our locality. But because MMRDA has money and they try to, whenever they're trying to build a road, they look at like the right of way available and try to pave over whatever is available and whatever is technically possible without having to like फ्यूचर में अगर बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ इसका प्रॉब्लम होगा मैन होल्स का या फिर यूटिलिटीज का then they keep some paver block section at the edges. But in that thing, I saw this one specific road which is lined by nothing but bungalows. So the plot sizes are small over there. So even future mein agar if they increase it and double it, still it's not going to have anywhere above 5 cars a minute. Still, that
Yeah.
entire lane got widened so much. I remember previously, actually you can go to the mapillary.com and check that street in Milap Nagar. That street is street used to be extremely narrow. I had personally street view mapped that street, and I don't remember if I have done a new version now, but the street has probably doubled in size, and they also got rid of a lot of the vegetation that existed on both sides, and that vegetation kind of did a whole uh, traffic calming in itself. Like because the road
Oh,
felt narrow, a lot of vehicles didn't speed. But now with such smooth roads and such wide right-of ways, what is
mm.
happening is they are completely people are speeding, so they have to put speed breakers for that.
Yeah, I
And
think we saw in your last Friday Night Live where you presented your Pune video where they had used different materials like cobblestone to just slow the traffic. So
yeah,
definitely like materials and other design interventions do help in
yeah, I
traffic.
mean definitely, especially with the whole road diet thing that a lot of these Canadian cities, North American cities are doing. uh, where basically they are trying to make the road look and feel narrower by adding
Mm.
certain re- orange color ka those poles in the middle of the street so that your vehicle has to just strictly go around
Wait,
it,
yeah.
or just adding some visual elements or some other traffic calming element, and that is basically trying to reduce the width of the road. Secondly, they also increase, they reduce the width of each lane itself. Like a car does not really need that wide of a lane. It can run on a 3 meter wide lane also, and it can run on a 3.2 meter wide lane also. The difference is that if you provide a 3.2 meter wide, there is more leeway to move around, so you're driving faster. And we
Yeah.
saw a lot of this happening. They just they just increase the widths, and now it doesn't actually feel safe walking on those streets. Even, I mean, it feels safe because there are no cars. The traffic is so low. But whenever there is a vehicle and there is some kind of a tire noise that I'm hearing at the back of my head, I do kind of flinch and get a bit nervous and try to just push myself at the edge of the road. But yeah, that is the main problem. Ki we are not looking at each road and each locality separately and trying to fix a problem. We are just कि 30 मीटर रोड है, उसमें एक स्पेसिफिक विड्थ का फुटपाथ बना देते हैं, बाकी
Yeah,
सब there will be a carriageway in the middle, बाकी सब it is just random. Shoulder position can increase or reduce, which is a problem.
definitely.
Yeah, so let me just pull up our community walk number 33. So community walk number 33 got done sometime around, it was on the 30th, I think, was it, or sometime
Mm,
around that time frame. But yeah, this is a still from that community walk, and this was definitely one of our finest community walks that we have hosted. Probably the finest because a lot of these people were extremely friendly, and not just friendly, they were very sharp in their understanding of issues. Because we usually talk about uh, uh, whenever we are hosting a community walk, hawkers is the number one issue that comes up, and people just have this demonic kind of ideal कि नहीं hawker होना ही नहीं चाहिए, hawker हटाओ ये वो. But they don't get the nuance of why hawkers exist, what is the socio-economic conditions that are causing hawkers, and the fact that hawkers exist in Southeast Asia, be it Singapore, be it
yeah.
Istanbul, be it Jakarta, Vietnam, anywhere, all of these places. But the people in this community walk, especially, were very cognizant about this issue, and they understood what the problems were, and a lot of them were quite active actually. I'll try to pull up a video. I think I had shortlisted it to show it in today's stream. Oh yeah, I have it. Yeah, I'll just put it up. So yeah, this is the park which was actually maintained by Robin, who was one of the attendants at this park. And this is one basic plot in a private plot between three buildings, and they actually have the like private residents within that society have come together and completely greenified this plot. And there's a lot of composting that is going on, and you can see just the amount of care that goes into maintaining all of this, and it is completely funded by the locality. I think Robin and a couple of other people completely spend their
That
money
look.
on it. Yeah, Aishwarya, you're saying something.
No, I just said it looks beautiful because it must take a lot of effort to maintain all of those beautiful plants.
Yeah. uh, okay, I actually hear Rishi trying to join. I'll let him in. It is a chore trying to let in someone in the middle of things. How do I expand this? Okay.
This is actually a very good clip that is playing. Actually, see the uh, vehicles parked at the shoulder portion and the woman actually walking on the road and not on the footpath.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we had started. Like, I probably our people in the chat might not be knowing, but uh, with Aishwarya coming in, we started with this entire new activity where we have each and every community walk, we are also recording a video of that road that we walk, because after each community walk we file a report, and in that report we mention the current present conditions and all of that. This video is also fed into Mapillary, and Mapillary may easily we can anyone can check it. We have already uploaded the community walk 33 ka Mapillary footage, and this is the kind of street that we walked. This was Kalina, the road that I showed just now, and
I think
terrible
it's
conditions.
really just, yeah. Sorry, Vedant.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's fine. I see there are some. Yeah, Rishi, you raised a hand. You can carry on the conversation while I check the comments.
No, nothing. I just actually wanted to come in for that garden part. I said it was Robin and his wife Lynette. And basically, there was not much contribution from the neighborhood. That's the part where I said I have to jump into the conversation. It's basically a labor of love for both of them. And that small pocket garden was actually covered with debris.
Oh,
And
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah, and this is like during COVID time, they have had the debris cleaned. The compost is coming from Robin and Lynette's house, where Robin does home composting. And basically, there wasn't any nutrition in the soil at all. There is nothing. So the compost is what is providing the this thing. And during the walk, also on the main road in that Ambedkar Chowk, the small pocket garden has been saved by Robin from the neighborhood builder, who had basically made a public garden into his own front yard or backyard for parties, etc. And that was a wonderful breath of green just next to the footpath. And this is the point which we keep also driving.
and
Mm.
we actually also
Yeah, and
measured the air quality around that locality. Uh, I remember on Santa Cruz Chambers Link Road, which was basically like 50 meters from the garden. It was somewhere around 60 something. 60 was the AQI PM 2.5 concentration, and at the
Yeah,
park it hit 45 or 40 something.
right.
So easily like a what? How much is it? 30% reduction in
Yeah.
PM 2.5 levels. Just this walk,
it's
Pocket Garden, and was
amazing. And if
yeah.
more people come together for such community gardens, even just in their neighborhood, I think there is one in Bandra where they do composting in the same way. So if we have like more like this in the neighborhood, that would be just great.
And this is
A very
not just
nice
the
thing.
first garden that we have encountered. Actually, during our community walk number 16, I think, yeah, 16, this was Mahakali Caves Road. And we started walking from Holy Family School and ended at this Mahakali ALM garden. I don't know what the actual proper name for it is, but this was managed by one of our friends, Rishi's friends, Rishi's publisher actually,
Vishwanath.
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 Yeah, Vishwanath Shetty. Uh, and he, along with a lot of his locality, so ALM, if anyone doesn't know in the stream, is Advanced Locality Management. This was an old practice in which basically people come together and create this body called Advanced Locality Management, which is registered with the BMC, and this body is who takes up any kind of a cause or activity or any civic communication with the BMC, taking forward any common agenda that people can find. So basically, they took up this public plot. Sometime this was 2009 or 2008, I think, if I'm not.
Yeah, sometime around that time. Yeah, it got launched. It got inaugurated that time. Yeah,
Yeah, and I remember Vishwanath mentioning how they just planted each and every tree in that plot, and he was showing while we were walking. And it was really amazing. And even there, I remember there was a massive drop. It was a much larger than 30% drop in PM 2.5 levels, mainly because the garden was lined with trees on both sides. There were a lot of bamboos and other natural trees native to Mumbai, actually. And you can, this is right by a busy road. Like it's a strip of land, it is a strip of garden. It's not even like we have took the measurement at another edge of the garden and uske वजह से drop हुआ है. This is literally right besides that Mahakali road, the internal road of Mahakali, and still you see all of this drop
not
in the
just
area.
Makali. It's also the JVLR. It's right next to JVLR,
It's right next to JVLR. If
which is no
anyone wants
ordinary
to,
road.
yeah,
Yeah,
if anyone wants to find that garden, it is right besides. something called Shilpagram, if you go on Google Maps.
Mm.
And so, yeah, the main critique we had after seeing all of this activity, even the ALM there in Mahakali also had this critique, is he, since the past 5, 10, 15 years, ALMs have been kind of killed off and have not been as important as they used to be. uh, BMC took up the garden from this ALM. There was some, I don't know, circular or something which mentioned that all of the public spaces in the city will be taken up by the BMC from all of these private. ALM is kind of a private organization where people are putting their money, bringing sponsors, and maintaining the garden. But
No, not exactly private. It's basically a public-private kind of a partnership because
mm,
BMC is an integral part of ALM. That's why it is registered with BMC.
yeah, yeah, but later on, obviously, with the BMC taking it up, the maintenance went down. Like light bulb एक change करने को problem होता था. BMC didn't pay light bills. BMC didn't pay water bills and all, and they didn't pay over some broken section of tiles and all of these. It's just not flexible enough. The garden department is just not flexible enough and doesn't have enough resources to look after all of these places. And I mean, we get to know so many of these insights with just talking to people during our community walks. It's a great way to kind of build a community around walkability.
No, I think in the Sundarnagar walk, we need to quickly, like I said, take up that section of CST road with two, three important junctions, including the university one,
Yeah,
and kind of put them up for priority. I mean, it's a shame that your Mumbai University gate number one, the main entrance, and the junction over there is not complying to anything, no standards, no guidelines. So I just hope we can take that up as a signature thing.
yeah. And the CST, not CST, the CST road and Santa Cruz Temple Link Road, University Junction, basically. I remember someone in the community walk mentioning they had spent some, how many lakhs? 28 lakhs, I think.
On that triangle, the granite, 18 lakhs.
18 lakhs. 18 lakhs on, this was a traffic island. Another
If you have
thing.
the picture, show
Oh,
it. I had a good
wow.
picture. I'm right
Uh,
now not.
I have
Otherwise, I'm
to,
not on my laptop. Otherwise, I would have pulled it out. I had taken two good photos of that junction.
yeah, yeah,
I
there
mean, this
are,
is how public money is getting wasted, right? You wouldn't spend it on junction redesign, but you're happy to spend it on granite for traffic island beautification. Mm.
yeah, I can actually pull it up. This, what mode will it be better visible? Yeah. So this is the picture actually, and you can see this traffic island thingy where people are supposed to take refuge and cross. Is what 18 lakh rupees have been spent on to beautify it, quote unquote, so that there can be banners placed on this.
And so the bigger point Vedant clearly is, which is also the pain point for us at Walking Project, is that ordinary citizens who are not otherwise who are concerned about the city but cannot participate in any way have to support existing civil society efforts, whether it is your local ALM, whether it is supporting Walking Project, and it has to be clearly. I mean, the secretariats have to be strengthened. They have to be donation because I mean, it was very touching. So the Sundarnagar walk was. I mean, that neighborhood is very special to me. I really love the compact nature, greenery of that area, and it's a nice, peaceful neighborhood. And there's so I mean, look at the kind of I mean, the main road didn't have a decent footpath also, and
I don't,
had
I,
it not been for Robin, I think these two gardens would not be there. So all the AQI benefits and other benefits that we are seeing. So these are all coming from kind of a few individuals going the extra mile, uh, and we need to strengthen all these efforts.
I don't know if there is a picture of that one street right besides that Sundarnagar garden, but it was, they were concreting it as we were walking at that location, and we saw these unnecessary widening of the road over there, where there are like tree beds in the middle of that road, and because of that, I don't think we have a picture. So I'll just switch to our.
We'll sorry, I was out for the past 2 hours, so that's why I couldn't pull together on my. But and I'll have to actually. Uh, take your break. I just came in, so I'll just join in 15 minutes.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I think I. Yep. So I don't have that picture, but this was another street. I mean, I can pull it up on Google Maps actually. If I want to show it, I'll just show you guys where it is. So this is Sundarnagar is somewhere over here. Yep. This. Where is Sundarnagar Garden? Yeah, I think this is a Sundarnagar Garden. Was it this? Yeah, it was this. So if you go today, you can see over here this parking lane is taking up that much space, and BMC is basically concreting this entire road, and instead of extending the footpath to the standards that they have within their pedestrian first guideline or whatever Indian Roads Congress guideline, they are not doing it, which is a frustrating thing for me, obviously. What I wanted to share, but yeah, let's kind of, I can play the street view video of that walk, which might be something for you guys to check out. So yeah, this is the street that I was talking about. This is the garden on the left hand side and the road on the right hand side. I mean, over here you can see these tree beds, and the footpath should actually easily be extended up to the tree bed so that you can construct parking on one side of the road, restrict parking to one side of the road, so it's not covering the entirety of the right of way. Even on the right hand side where the footpath is being constructed, it is even worse than what it is over here, as you can see.
Where are the photos? I'm not seeing any photo.
You won't
Sorry,
see
maybe.
it. It's on. It's visible on the live stream to the people.
Okay, okay, fine.
But yeah, this is what Sundarnagar looked like. This was our. This was the route that we walked on.
What time of the day was this?
This was around 10 a.m. I think.
Okay.
If I am able to show the end of this, okay, yeah, I do have. Oh yeah, this is it. Just pull it up and push it on the live stream. This is CSG Road intersecting with Santa Cruz Chembur Link Road. That is the SCLR flyover that you're seeing. The road right of way is easily above 30 meters, probably around 35 meters, maybe even 40 meters. I don't know actually. But it is extremely wide, and you can see the footpath present on this road. While
Such a drastic difference that we see.
yeah, and you will find people walking on that road in the middle of the road constantly, especially at the university. I mean, university, if you look at any NYU or I don't know, Oxford or something, universities are places which tend to be walkable because a lot of foreign students are in the Western university, at least lots of foreign students are coming, and students in general is a class which does not have that many vehicles, like private vehicles. They are dependent on private transport, public transport, and they have to walk around their university, and that is why that locality needs to be extremely walkable. And if you go inside a Mumbai University campus, I mean, my God, the kind of infrastructure that is present. I mean, there is absolutely no zero pedestrian infrastructure inside that locality. But yeah, this is Sundarnagar Kalina on the live stream. You can see. Uh, at the end of the stream, I'll kind of take questions. I can see a few comments by. Oh, I see Robin. 8th February 2028. But yeah, this is a kind of infrastructure that is being redone. And on this, like what you're seeing on the screen, on this kind of a road, there are very set guidelines present by the Indian Roads Congress key how to maximize footpath space on this road. First thing that they say is you have to reduce parking at least on one side. to bring the footpath to the minimums required on this location. On the right hand side, you can see all of these scaffolding and facade that is brought up to obviously build a tall building. I mean, this is in the airport vicinity, so the building can't be way too tall, but still it will add to the density of this locality. And the footpaths here should be at least wide enough for three people to walk along. And they are just not following the own guidelines laid down by the IRC. These problems
I think
exist.
another example, Veerad, you mentioned regarding university. So not in comparison, but we are SB Road with the SBKM precinct also, which we had discussed last live also, is another example where uh, huge ROW and very poor footpath width that we see at the Baidas Buda junction.
Yeah,
I think if you have a video of that, uh,
I have not shortlisted it down. Like it's not easily accessible. I'll find it for another live stream. But again,
okay,
that
okay.
is one of the that is probably much higher footfall than this Mumbai University junction because
Mm,
Vilepalli station is barely far,
yeah.
and there is so much you can do with this road width. I mean, the idea with flyovers is that you pull away all the ground level traffic and give it a signal free passage at the top level, and that just doesn't happen. You build ऊपर एक flyover बना देते हैं, vehicles go on that, vehicles also go on the bottom level, and there is no I mean, footpaths are not widened at all. Footpaths are not even wide
And
enough to fit the road distribution categories that IRC says. कि Santa Cruz Chembur Link Road hai, you have lots of these retail shops. There is something called BKC Extended or BKC Annex as they call some of these corporate towers which are present on that CLR. They call themselves BKC Annex because they are not in BKC but they want to sell their yeah. So a lot of retail exists but footpaths non-existent on that road. And IRC clearly says anything with such a high retail activity has to have a minimum 4 meters. It can go up to 7 meters, but the footpath that you saw in the video previously I was showing was somewhere around 2.5 ish. वो भी when the footpath is so narrow, building slopes वगैरह भी becomes very difficult. The slope takes up entire width of the footpath and it's uncrossable at all. So yeah, I think, do I have something else to show? Oh yeah, I have this. Yeah, this is someone we met after the walk and seemed to enjoy petting a lot. So yeah, this is one thing. And another thing that we wanted to actually show you guys is what we have been up to over the past how much time? I don't know. A couple of weeks at least. Yeah, this is how do I keep it in the center? We are hosting Walkable Cities Conclave on the 4th of April at YB Chavan Center, which is at Nariman Point. We will make a lot of these things live and post it on our social media, but you guys are the first people to get a overview about this whole thing. Uh, Basically, it is going to be like a couple of panel discussions, a presentation by us, and we are planning to call high level state bureaucrats and like high level municipal bureaucrats, high level state bureaucrats, high level politicians, and just get them to understand the importance of walking and strategize on how to go ahead about walkability in the city in Mumbai. Like we have found out that a lot of these politicians in the things that they propose or in the things that they promise, walkability just simply doesn't come up. Some of it is because they don't have experience walking on the street. Most of their travel within the city is happening inside vehicles, and a lot of these nuances are very difficult to grasp when you are in a vehicle and not getting to see issues. Something like having to just go on and off a footpath constantly because of the level difference in front of buildings or things like that. And there are a lot of policy issues, for example, the same traffic island thing that I mentioned. And traffic islands across the city have been converted into these beautified medians, which in fact should have been refuge spaces, but they have been converted into these beautified uncrossable spaces, which is extremely hostile and dangerous for people to actually walk through. I'll try to pull up
People
a
also vehicles as they become blind spots while turning.
yeah.
While
I mean, I can pull up a image of some traffic island across the world. Even in our last live stream, we showed uh, the traffic island. Some of these examples were from within Mumbai also. Uh, do I have a nice picture which can be shown?
yeah, you had pulled up the Dadar traffic island, I think, last
Yeah,
stream.
I had pulled it up, but I don't have it right now. I think it is. I mean, yeah, okay. I have a good traffic island to show. This is Dadar, so nice flat crossable traffic island. You can easily walk across it. You can stand in the middle of it while the traffic flows. And these are policy level issues that has ruined the walkability in the city. The conversion of this triangle into something which has flower beds and flower pots, utilities, etc., which is a major problem. And this is something that the bureaucrats and politicians need to know. And yeah, that needs to change. And with this whole walkable cities event, we want to kind of change that and at least get it into people's minds, ki, get into the politicians' minds how to improve walkability and what are the things that they should look for. Mm, we are trying to curate the event in a manner which is enjoyable to watch, and also carry a lot of points that are usually hidden. Like I personally have attended so many of these public events, and it turns out that a lot of these usually scratch the surface. Like climate change के ऊपर बहुत सारे events देखे हैं. I've been to events about best buses. I've been at events about changing climate heat in Mumbai, and a lot of them just touch the surface level without going into the deeper uh, level on why these problems exist, but also what can be done. Like actionables are generally something that is not discussed at all at the end of the event. And I think personally that after each event there should be a session where you just list down things कि ये हम कर ये हमने करना चाहिए. Like even the politicians should know कि what are the things that are expected from them and how to actually make money out of it. So yeah, those were my thoughts about it. What else? Do we have something to show? So we were supposed to discuss about SV Road walkability improvement program. I think Aishwarya, you can kind of brief them about what the program is. Until then, I can find up some stuff to show.
Yeah. So, SP Road is Swami Vivekananda Road. Last month we had our annual SP Road walk on 15th of January on Swami Vivekananda Jayanti. So, SP Road is the one of the longest roads in Mumbai, which is it's flanked by high density mixed use development built both sides. It's running all the way from Bandra to Dahisar with 13 railway stations. So it makes it a very major road that is accessed by vehicles, people, people and pedestrians, including we have school children, we have office people. So it uh, just a second.
Yeah. So yeah, I have pulled up the street view of SV Road, which people can see on the live stream. This is a
Yeah,
relatively less busy section from Bandra, and you have high density commercial retail on both the sides. I think we mentioned this even in our last live stream, but
mm.
we couldn't. I mean, the audio issues might have probably caused that to be not heard, so we are kind of repeating this section. But
And any
yeah,
from the from the stream who's attending today, I'm sure you all mm, definitely agree that the existing conditions that are there for pedestrians to walk are really in a bad condition with very inadequate footpath widths, surface quality. So everyone is forced to walk on the roads, and in general, it is a very dangerous situation for pedestrians to that they have to traverse through in the entire stretch. Like we see different um, sections of the road with different maybe ROWs or different types of buildings on either side, but the footpath width that is there remains the same, or it might even be less, or no footpaths at all. I know for sure that the road after Nanavati has no footpaths on either sides, and I have seen people walk on the road. There's only a shoulder portion that's there where cars are parked, and there's also an idli wala who comes and he sells the food on the shoulder portion while the vehicles are going across him. So in general, it's just a very dangerous condition that we have on SV Road. So what we're trying to focus on SV Road is we want to improve the existing conditions, and we want to do that with street view mapping and just mapping the existing conditions of SV Road. And overarching goal is to have quick, actionable um, items that we can go to the BMC and talk to them about that this is what they can focus on. And also focusing on the junctions that are there on SV Road.
and I have also kind of pulled up the street view images on Google of SV Road. This is, I think, Andheri. Yeah, this is Andheri. But like you saw in the live stream, probably I was switching between street view of New York and street view of Mumbai. I was doing this mainly because this is Fifth Avenue, New York, Manhattan. The right of way on this road is 28 meters, 90 feet road. You will have heard so many 90 feet roads in Mumbai. So Fifth Avenue is the same right of way as New York, and the sorry, so SV Road is the same right of way as Fifth Avenue Road, and you can see the stark difference in the amount of for the width of the footpath on these roads. I mean, it is kind of even comical to actually bring up a comparison of these two roads because it is so bad. The one thing that is notable on between these two street views is actually the amount of space that goes to on-street parking in Mumbai when you compare it with New York. New York may usually the on-street parking is limited to the streets. So like you see on the street, you have parking on both the sides, and then one lane is actually where the vehicles are moving around. Whereas in Mumbai, you can park anywhere on the street. I mean, it kind of helps that New York has this grid pattern to for every road. Like there are 5 avenues across New York. Mumbai Western suburbs have just one Swami Vivekananda Road and one Western Express Highway, which are two north-south roads. Whereas there are entirety of Manhattan has probably 8 avenues, uh, and because of that, they can actually restrict parking without much furor from people. Ki parking kaise hata diya and all. But it goes to show. I mean, there are articles ki they are actually going to widen this Fifth Avenue from currently it has some 5.5-meter wide footpaths uh, on on I think both sides, which they want to further increase by 45% in width because it is so crowded, and that is absolutely unheard of. You see a problem and you try to fix it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely unheard of. Like, who does that? ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. I mean, it's absolutely insane कि India में, in Mumbai of all places, the densest city in the world, probably, uh, has footpaths this narrow, and you allow parking on both sides of the road. I mean, you don't allow, kind of, because you can see in this street view image, there is a no parking sign over here. So you are not allowed to park over here. But because the road is so wide and there is shoulder portion that is so wide, you can there is space to park. Even here you can see there is a no parking sign. Across SV road you will find no parking signs, but
Yeah.
people cars are parked over there because it's intuitive. There is space to park, so you park. Why is that not happening in New York? Because there is actually not enough space to park. Yeah, if you park the car, you kind of block the traffic in some way. Taxis and all can kind of drop off people, but otherwise you can't stand there for way too long. Like, you can't just
Mhm.
park there and go away. And obviously there is good enforcement in New York. Like, you see all of these bus lanes. Buses in New York have this system called ABLE, which is automated bus lane enforcement. So it clicks a picture of a car parked in the middle of the street and in the middle of a bus lane, and it just fines that person, whoever is crossing. Do we
And
have?
I'm sure with, I mean, such kind of planning can be done on SP Road with the right design interventions. Even though we have a lot of uh, vehicles using the road and the parking issue comes up, but it might have an uproar in the start, but it will flow smoothly or even as before.
Yeah, I think let's kind of also take questions to build
Yeah.
engagement. I see there are comments by a few people. I can go from start actually. Neeraj had mentioned that we don't need to look at each road separately, and realistically, no one has that kind of spare resource. A certain set of categories and design types will do just fine. So this is replying to my comment that we are not looking at each road separately and trying to build according to whatever right of way is available. Uh, Neeraj's comment is correct in a way. IRC has these set guidelines that he's mentioned. He says there are a certain set of categories and design types will do just fine, which IRC does have. IRC clearly says कि आपका carriageway should be consistent, like it is in this Fifth Avenue or any of the streets in New York. And New York is actually not a great example to show over here because New York, mein, obviously, it is a grid pattern. The city was completely laid out in uh, that strict grid layout. But I can compare it to London itself because it is relatively unplanned in that manner. It is organically planned. I won't call it unplanned. But this street layout, you can see this is a nice short middle avenue kind of a street, and you can find the road width is completely consistent from one intersection to another. So there is no बीच में अगर building थोड़ा ज़्यादा मिल गया जगह तो footpath just reduces and road widens. Road stays consistent, and this helps maintain traffic flow in a proper manner. In the specific street view that I have landed up randomly, you can also see this traffic calming that they have done in the middle. You have cycle parking. I assume this is, yeah, it is cycle parking. They have done it to reduce the lane widths of this road. It reduces the speeds of vehicles inside cities, which is nice. So IRC has this within their standards कि road का अगर width कम ज़्यादा हो रहा है तो you can like right of way कम ज़्यादा हो रहा है तो road width stays same. The shoulder portion on the road edge of the road stays same. Footpath कम ज़्यादा हो सकता है to match whatever amount of space that is available in front of that building. Like, I think, is it possible to show it in this location? I don't know. But yeah, you kind of get the point that I'm trying to make. I can actually pull up IRC some of our fewer live streams. Today I was not actually that prepared for the live stream because a lot of stuff has been going on for the fourth Ka event. But yeah, you can see how that matters. And Swami Vivekanand, yeah, let's come back to Mumbai. Let's come back to our honking noise, and let's come back to the chat. So Karan is asking, the comment section is overlapping on the screen. Is this supposed to be like that? Yeah, it is supposed to be like that. Uh, the problem we are facing right now is कि the setup on OBS was done in such a way that चार लोग अगर stream पे है साथ में तो it will show up in a four square kind of a thing. Oh, sorry, I'm not on the street view. Let's come to SV road. Yeah. So अगर चार लोग साथ में है सामने, like now in this mode, oops, we are in, so now you can see Aishwarya and me, but ये अगर चार लोग होते थे तो this would not have been that bothering of a thing. So yeah, it is intentional. The chat coming up on the face is kind of intentional, but right now it's not that big of a problem. It gets you guys to see what you are typing, so it makes it interactive. Also, Karan has texted, should the dividers along SV road be removed to improve traffic flow, or will it lead to more congestion and safety issues? So, yeah, it would. Dividers in Mumbai are added simply because our drivers in the city are not. I mean, anyone gets a driver's license in this country. It's a joke. I mean, driver's license. I don't know what. There was some visiting card. Just someone had mentioned. I think there was a comparison. Anyone can just get a driver's license in this country, and lane ka follow ही कोई नहीं करता है. If there is a small jam, people will just kind of cross on over onto the other side of the road, and lots of issues with the crossing. The thing that we can actually do
Or
in,
use the footpath.
huh?
Oh, sorry. Oh, I didn't know it. Or use the footpaths, two wheelers.
Oh yeah,
Use the footpaths to go ahead.
yeah. I think something that we have been pushing for, and regarding dividers, is that we should have the old style flat dividers that we used to have in Mumbai. I can, if I remember correctly, you find some of those on Dadar. This Gokhale, Gokhale. No, not Gokhale Road. But yeah, this is, check this traffic island. This is how it's supposed to be. I mean, this is close to how it's supposed to be. It's not, never you find something ideal in Mumbai. But where is a nice flat divider? Oh yeah, you can see this divider in this video. These used to be how we divided roads back in the day. And this is easily permeable. It does the job of keeping the traffic flowing, and discipline is followed. And the second benefit was that pedestrians can actually cross this comfortably at any, like यहाँ पे I see a shop, I want to cross over to the other side, I can just surmount it, check the traffic कितना है, find a nice gap between vehicles and go. And in the middle of urban roads, this is how it should be. Like, you might say कि people then will break the law and cross anywhere, but intuitively speaking, and uh, also bringing up the example of New York. New York completely did away with jaywalking as a concept. Now jaywalking is decriminalized, so you can cross anywhere on the streets, and not on the avenues, but I mean people will use their judgment to cross. And in the inner streets, lots of these cities across the world are having a 30 km per hour cap. 30 km per hour is a speed which is uh, shown to reduce the fatality rate by a huge percentage, which I also showed in our previous live stream. If I recollect correctly, it was like if a 50 km per hour vehicle hits you as a pedestrian, the chances of your death are 90%. Like 9 out of 10 times you will die. And at 30 kilometers per hour, you are basically, uh, it goes down to 10%. Like 1 out of 10 times you will end up dying. So Amsterdam has a 30 kilometer per hour cap, and this kind of does that thing. This median that you're seeing, when people are crossing, drivers actually take caution while speeding their vehicles in the middle of the city. They pay more attention, and it acts like a self traffic calming element. And dividers like this, I mean, this at least, the one that I'm showing at least has some cutouts at regular intervals, so it is not that big of an issue. But there was this one street in Malad, I can actually pull it up and show you, which had a horrible intersection. Was it Charkop or was it Malad? I think it was. No, this is Charkop. This is not it. Uh, was it Gorey? This was one of the most horrible street dividers that I've seen. Like, a road this small should not have divider this tall. The problem right now is that BMC has a lot of money. They don't know where to spend it. So they are converting this old style divider into something that you saw further ahead. So you can see this is December 2024. Same road. Image capture date you can't actually see. But how do I show it? Yeah, so you can see over here it is December 2024 the images where they are building this road and adding all of these divider nonsense. And just further ahead, जहाँ पे street view पुराना है, it's November 2021. You had this old school divider. And obviously you can see all of the problems on the street with hawking taking up a lot of space, the no distinction in the zones where you are supposed to conduct your business and all. Dividers are only because of drivers. Yeah, yes, Vishal, agree with it. And another comment that Vishal has left mm, is there no towing services? I am not sure if there are towing services in Mumbai actually. Maybe Aishwarya, do you know? Does the BMC tow away vehicles or the traffic police tow away vehicles?
Yes. So where there are no parking signs, they do come on rounds, but again, it's not. It needs more enforcement. It's
No,
not for
yeah,
sure whether they will come at this
yeah.
specific place. Rishi, are you saying something?
No, I said very much. We have very good towing services. 100%.
But they're not
Those,
very reliable, though, right?
those are all governed by traffic police.
Yeah. I have actually not seen that many towing incidents happening, and that same kind of fear that exists in Dombivli, because the Thane City Traffic Police is feared. It is very feared, even in Thane City as well as all of these sub jurisdictions in Kalyan Dombivli areas. If you go
I
at, yeah,
have myself. I've seen towing vans do take rounds, but I've also had this like group of friends who are like they come, but we can. It not every time that they take it. So from my experience, they're not very reliable. Not reliable, but if they would come every time or not.
like even today, if I take my bike to the railway station and I try to go in any shop जहाँ पे no parking है, usually it is, first of all, it is odd even parking. So on odd days you have to park on one side, even day on another side. Another thing that I understood recently why they actually do it. It is because they want to clean the under part of the parking. Because if you have a car parked over there, you can't actually uh, show it over there. You can't actually clean up that part over there. So when you have odd even kind of a thing, the city cleaners can actually clean up one side on one day and the other side on another day. But yeah, even if today I go to any shop and if it's a no parking zone, there is a very heavy fear that people have कि गाड़ी उठा के लेके जाएंगे. Everyone is on edge even when they are buying something on the counter for any kind of a screeching noise of wheels towing van का जो आता है. थोड़ा भी लगता है तो people just sprint outside the door and jump on their vehicle to stop the towing from happening, which I have only seen in South Mumbai actually. I remember South Mumbai has these parking uh, strict parking enforcements for 3 hours periods where you can park your bike for 3 hours in one side, then you have to park
Yeah.
it somewhere else for 3 hours. Rarely seen it in suburbs. And Thane city, actually, the traffic police also follows actual road marking rules. कि इस रोड मार्किंग के अंदर ही यू हैव टू पार्क, इसके बाहर थोड़ा भी होगा तो योर व्हीकल इज स्टोर्ड अवे एंड टेकन टू द impound station, which my dad had to do it. And this is not even like city, Thane city, like the station area. This was somewhere in Kasarwadoli where he was gone, so, which is not a busy locality. Uh, Internal streets of Kasarwadoli, not even Ghodbandar Road or near thereabouts. Even there, they had that kind of a fear ki you can't park outside of that strip. And I have found the lane markings in Thane are much better than Mumbai in any case. So, yeah. Do you guys have any more questions? We have 8 people watching. 8 में से 2 will be Aishwarya and me likely. So we have 6 people. We can take up any questions that you guys have, uh, or any experiences you guys want to show or share. Or you can watch me pan around street view in the meantime while you kind of comment. We will close the live stream at 9:15. Let's just try to go to some relatively wide road in London. I mean, why do London? Let's go to Islamabad.
Just
Chalo.
the community, how do we engage? More of that.
Uh, yeah. Can you? Yeah, Aishwarya, I think you can take up that part.
Sorry, Rishi, you were not audible. Sorry.
So he said कि we need to do something. We need to talk about how to engage community with regards to SV Road.
Okay.
So
Karan is there. He wants to add some thoughts. Anybody else? We need to with people on SV Road.
yeah.
We
Also,
want
yeah.
to
Since
know the
Karan is on the live stream chatting in the comment section, I really want to thank Karan because Karan has done a tremendous amount of work with helping us with GIS mapping and stakeholder mapping of all the people that are present along SV Road. The long-term goal with this SV Road program is that first we map out who are the stakeholders that we are working for. Second, which will include like colleges, schools, hospitals, retail shop owners, uh, restaurants, all of these things. We are mapping out all of the major intersections placed on SV Road. We are also mapping out the street view along SV Road. We are mapping on using our word map formula that we have been using to map out all the actionable items that can be changed along SV Road, and then working with colleges or architecture students to kind of redesign SV Road in a more pedestrian friendly manner, engage with the community to take this forward in a more kind of cohesive manner जहाँ पे we have a meeting with 20, 25 people, 40 people, 100 people, and get their help to push this to their local MLA and also the BMC. Unless and until there is a push from the public and the public shows interest and willingness in making that happen, it is going to be difficult. So we have been kind of struggling because of so many activities happening and the whole 4th of April Walkable Cities Conclave thing coming up on our plate, that hosting community talks and community meetings locally has been very difficult. So we have been thinking or pondering over the idea कि can we do this in a form of a live stream session like we are doing it right now, or maybe a Google Meet session where we bring in a lot of people and we discuss something and how to go ahead about a certain section of SV Road. For example, Khar में 50 people can come up on a community meeting, and then we can discuss what we want to do as a walking project. We can get some architecture students to actually redesign, get the drawings first of all from the BMC, like the total station survey of the right of way, and how can we redo that in a way that is compliant with IRC. Key footpaths वाइड कैसे कर सकते हैं वहाँ पे, कैरेज वे कंसिस्टेंट कैसे रख सकते हैं, शोल्डर पोर्शन कंसिस्टेंट कैसे रखते हैं, पार्किंग को कैसे मैनेज करना है, हॉकर्स को कैसे मैनेज करना है, साइनेज कैसे इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं सो दैट nobody has to ask how do I get to Khar railway station from say Khar social तो बाजू में ही है but any of these important localities or important places of interest around Khar station. So all of these things we want to take up under SV Road, and we would love you guys engage with us online and let us know how can we actually do this in a better manner. And if you have connections within SV Road, please drop us a comment on in this live stream. You can drop a comment, or after the live stream you can also drop a comment on the video, or you can mail us at info@walkingproject.org. I'll put it in the chat box. uh, but I'll put it from my no, I won't do that. I don't want to dox myself. Where is the text?
I'll just drop it on the comment section so that you
Yeah.
all can just reach out to us on email if you like.
But yeah, I mean, we are trying to do that. So Karan has commented something.
If anyone from the live stream is enthusiastic, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Yeah, we're actively like we would love to have you on board and work together for SP Road.
Yeah. I'm seeing Karan. Why do many of us in India struggle to follow rules? Is it due to lack of accountability? It is. I mean, at Walking Project, we think a lot of it is also designs because, uh, like for example, you are seeing this street, like you're seeing the Fifth Avenue ka footage, like street view. You can see there is good lane marking. You know, गाड़ी किस किन lanes के बीच में रखना है. You have a nice zebra crossing which is marked properly. There is a bus lane with a nice red marking. Uh, you also have intersections पे proper zebra crossings. There is this indicator कि कहाँ पे कब क्रॉस करना है कब नहीं करना है. It is very visible for anyone standing over at this location. There are nice signages which say कि this is a one way, this is a one way. Trees are at a perfect place. Tree का जो pots है, even though the placement of those is not in the walking zone where you are supposed to walk at. See this, there is a hawker actually on this Fifth Avenue. Oh, it went. Yeah, so you can see this guy hawking $5 caps. I love NYC. So he is not keeping his cart right in the middle of the footpath also. So a lot of these things are designed, uh, like rules can be followed easily when there is design which makes it easier to follow. Here you can see this nice strip line which is helping you keep your cars inside the parking zone. I think this is not even a parking, this is probably a loading bay if I am seeing. Boundary walls is what differentiates cities from NYC. And also, I don't know how to spell Nroop's name. Nroop probably, Nroop Rawal. Are there any guidelines from IRC that you found to be very outdated and needs changes? I can't think of any as such. IRC in general comes out to be very progressive. I mean, there are very few guidelines that are actually implemented. तो वही नहीं हो रहे हैं. I think in general IRC has looked over all, especially the 2022 standard has looked at these guidelines and standards across the world, and they have done a very good job, but the implementation is the problem which is not happening, and that is something we also want to bring up on our walkability conclave. How to improve administrative structures to get that thing fixed. Hopefully, we will have the municipal commissioner present at the event where we can put forward very key actionable things that can be said, like not just this location, in New York, even let's say Paris. Where is Paris? So Paris is much smaller. Yeah, this is Paris. Why are traffic rules so easy to, like, why do Parisians follow traffic rules better? It's simple. It's the it's easier to follow traffic rules in Paris. Like, यहाँ पे पार्क करने के लिए जगह नहीं है, vehicles can't park over here. There is a nice footpath, well paved, not too tall, so people can easily cross over it, walk at it, and cross over at the road. There is good signage everywhere. You can't enter in this road with this sign, and it is intuitive mostly. There are some things which need enforcement, which is lacking in India, which makes it unintuitive. And like SV Road, we saw absolute lack of, like, this any street, not just SV Road, this complete lack of signage in the street. साइनेज है तो भी दिखता नहीं है. कुछ फीचर्स ऐसे हैं जो ऐड किए हैं बिकॉज इट एग्जिस्ट ऑन अ पेपर बट इट डजेंट मेक सेंस एट ऑल. जिस जो आएगा, फॉर एग्जांपल, गार्ड रेल्स कुड कम इन दैट कैटेगरी की जस्ट बिकॉज द पेपर सेज कि गार्ड रेल्स प्रोटेक्ट पीपल. यू डोंट हैव टू इरेक्ट देम ऑन स्ट्रीट लाइक दिस. Flower pots are kept. I mean, any rich locality, rich building just keeps a flower pot outside their place to prevent hawkers from hawking over at that location. And it's a complete nightmare, as we saw in the image. Oh yeah, this was actually the road that I was talking about in the middle of the street. This is atrocious. You absolutely cannot have this kind of a divider in a road this tiny, जहाँ पे there is such dense kind of activity on both the sides. And BMC puts this kind of a divider in such locations just because the law even doesn't say probably, but
I mean, we can see from the holdings it also another
yeah, it makes up a
revenue.
nice place to. Who is this? Vinod Taude. So yeah, माडा का पोस्टर आई एम सीइंग. लोखंडी रेल से काम करण्यात आले आहे. Okay, so this is something we are supposed to be proud of. I hope there are a lot of people in the locality who are really proud of and happy with this railing that is put up on this street. And you can see just how continuous this is. It has very few breaks in the middle, and kind of also makes the road look very constricted. You really don't need a railing that tall. Like, yeah, so you are seeing over here, this is this December 2024. So they're changing those from this, which is maybe better because there is some greenery to look at as compared to before. But see these, ये नहीं इम्प्रूव करना है. ये बस स्टॉप पे लोग जो बाहर खड़े होते हैं, ये इम्प्रूव नहीं करना है. वी वांट टू स्पेंड मनी ऑन दिस डिवाइडर because we can replant it every year and maintain a nice. Oh, I see a pedestrian crossing signage. Where is the crossing? Is there any crossing I can see? I don't see any. ये पेंट नहीं करना है, ज़ेब्रा क्रॉसिंग मार्क नहीं करना है, बट हमको ये डिवाइडर पे ग्रीनरी लगाना है बिकॉज एज क्लोज फ्रेंड ऑफ आवर्स सेज, इंडिया इज अ एग्रेरियन इकोनॉमी एंड हर साल खेती होनी चाहिए. सो दैट इज द रीज़न फॉर अ लॉट ऑफ इश्यूज that plague India. We want to have a nice way to make money.
We have a question by Nirup.
Yeah. What's the most effective way to address the local issue and approach the person/body responsible for it? I'm aware of the BMC complaint site, and then you have Twitter. Local issue generally, like, some of it using the complaint site does help a little bit, but not for problems which are more nuanced than it. Like you can get a manhole fixed on the internet, or you can get a certain bus stop fixed on the internet. But if you want to ask them to increase road width, footpath width at a road, that probably takes up much more. That requires much more activity from the people, where 15 20 of the people are going with a nice local ALM ka letterhead or a society letterhead, and then putting it up on putting getting it stamped at the local ward office, or getting the local MLA on board, or for something like this railing that I showed just over here in the street view. uh, what I would personally do is go with a IRC standards ka guidelines which mentions something about the road median. Go with the minimum distances crossing का जितना होना चाहिए. Go with some standards that IRC has for a road this wide, and first of all put a letter demanding the removal of these at the BMC ward office. Get it stamped, then go to the local member of MLAs to start with, I guess. Corporator, MLA, then it would be MP if it's a larger road with a larger interest, and that is how generally the progression goes. Sometimes you will get some response from them, sometimes you won't. Usually for internal roads, you won't find this response. And that is where you need to approach the BMC head office, which is implementing this as a policy across the city, so you can get it addressed at a larger level. And that requires a lot of resources, uh, which we are struggling with, but we are trying to do it the best that we can with our limited resources, and which we also uh, kind of demand you to help us with in terms of mostly in terms of donations right now, because even if you try to volunteer with us, it's managing volunteers is another task in itself. We would still love to have you connect with us. Drop us an email at info@walkingproject.org. You can visit our website on walkingproject.org to get that email, and simply drop us something that you would like to do, like to help us out with. It could be simply with website redesign, or search engine optimization, especially that we want to do. It could be with conducting a local meeting. If you are living in like a large gated community and you have a nice auditorium inside, like mini theater, or something of that sort, where we can conduct a presentation, you can do that. You can call us in your locality to host a community walk, which we will the logistics mostly we will handle, but you could help us with storage of certain items, or like a banner or something, or you could help us out with just simple details of that locality. So that is a way you can help us out with. Can we have a look at, Narup is saying something, can we have a look into some soothing streets of Anushakti Nagar and perhaps hear some comments from you? Oh yeah, sure. Anushakti Nagar, let's go. I don't know if Anushakti Nagar has street view because it's a BARC area. There is some street view added by the local like citizens. वो भी open नहीं हो रहा है. But yeah, these are places which are kind of gated away. This is the closest I can go to Anushakti Nagar, which is Vienpura Mal, another horrible locality. But yeah, I think that was most of it from our side for the stream. Maybe you can provide us with some pictures, Nuru. You can comment to us on Twitter, or you could send it personally to either Rishi or me, or in the community walk group that you were a part of. I think it was community walk group number 4 for Borivali, which Rishi moderates, and we can show it in the next stream, so you can see that in the next stream. Or maybe you have already sent it. I have no clue, but I don't have the bandwidth to actually check it on so many devices at the same But yeah, we will try to improve this format so that it is more enjoyable. I think it was just what 6 or 7 of us in this thing, and even now we have like 8 total viewers as I'm seeing. I hope the number grows and it becomes a nice platform for us. Yeah, it was quite enjoyable to have you host you guys on this live stream. Thank you for coming. Always appreciate your presence on this live stream. And thank you. Let's
Thank you.
make Mumbai and all other cities in the country more walkable. Bye bye.